Welcome back to Guru the Guru, and this week we're going to be showing something that I've been wishing to show for some time, but due to different circumstances we have not been able to handle it. But it's on having Jenkins slaves. Why do we need Jenkins slaves? You can have your master Jenkins, but then you have the pipelines or the freestyle projects run on the slaves. This is because what will slaves help you with? One, resource utilization, better resource utilization, because the pipelines and the freestyle projects will only use the resources of the other server or the slave when need be, not all the time. So that server can be used for other things. And then also for scalability, and you can also have agents of different languages, so it also serves a better purpose. So I'm going to show you how I set up my own slaves using Docker, and then you can go try it on your own. So if you need anything else on Jenkins and Docker, just comment in the comment section and I'm going to pick it up. If you have not watched the other Docker and Jenkins videos, just click on the button up there and you'll be able to access them. So all the materials from this video will be shared in the description, so if you need access to them, you just click on the link below. So without further ado, let's get going, guys. So the first thing that you need another server, so a virtual machine. So you can use either Ubuntu, CentOS, just whatever server you need. So for me, I'm going to be showing using my Ubuntu server. So I believe you can see that. So first of all I did was create a Docker image. This one, the slave image, which let me just show you, doesn't have much. I'll share these files for you to be able to build. So I'm just building. I add Ubuntu to the image, bring it down a bit. So add Ubuntu, and then I update, add JDK for Jenkins, I add Maven, I give it a password and all that, and then I change the permissions. Is the SSH, because you'll be accessing it through SSH. So that is all I'll be sharing this file, so you don't need to change anything. And then I just build the image. So sudo docker build tag, I give it a name, mine was slave, then dot, then builds the image. So you don't need to build the image again with that already done. And then also once you install Docker, ensure you go to, let me see if I can remember the path, /lib. I need to go to systemctl, then need to go to system, and then docker.service. Yeah, and ensure this path, the ExecStart, you change it to this. So I'm also going to be sharing this link there, so that you can be able to change that, because this is the one that is usually there, but you need to change to this one and ensure port 4243 is open for the API. So you can also check your API is working. So I just need to get my API address, zip.com, and then I can just do curl http. This is to ensure that the slave is the slaves can be created through the Docker API. So I get this IP address, so copy, paste it there, 4243. remember that port should always be open, version, and then see if the API works. So you can see I can get the platform, the name, so that shows it's working. So that is all you need to set up on the virtual machine side, the new virtual machine. So you have a new Ubuntu. This is Ubuntu 22 for me. So you have a new Ubuntu, you install Docker, you change the ExecStart path so that to ensure it's accessible, and then from there you create your slave image, just an image, not a container. You just create your slave image. I'm going to be providing all those files, and then with that you just go now to your main Jenkins or your master Jenkins. So you can see I already have a few pipelines and freestyle projects. We'll get to that. So you need to come to manage Jenkins, and on this also ensure you install Docker. Once you've installed Docker as a plugin, let me just show you where to handle that. So come to manage plugins, then mine will be under install, because I've already installed. But for you, you'll just come to available and search for Docker. So mine will be under install. Just search for Docker and install. Once you install that, you'll be able to, so you need the Docker API plugin, Docker pipeline, and I think the Docker plugin. If you're able to find this, you're good. So with that said, you go to the next step now. After you have the Docker plugin, you remember our slaves will be created using Docker. That is why we have a Docker image already. So we go back to manage Jenkins and create a new node or cloud. So go to manage nodes and cloud, and then go to configure clouds. So I'm just going to show you the settings I already have. So you can see Docker there. So click on Docker cloud settings, and then ensure the Docker URI is the TCP, and then the IP address, then the port 4243. And then go ahead, before you complete this, ensure this is enabled here. This is enabled. Ensure that is enabled, and you can test. You should get back the version of Docker that you have and the API version. So that is what should tell you it's working correctly. Then after that, go to Docker agent. You need to add a few. Here you add a few settings. So the label can be anything. So this is what I'll use in my pipeline to refer to the service that we create the slaves. So this is the image, so slave image, and then this is a Docker image. So that one should be pretty easy. Then the remote file system for the root. So this is the home/Jenkins. Just make a note of them. For usage, just leave it as use this node as much as possible. And then for connection, obviously, as I said, we're using SSH. That is why we had a password and on the other side. So connect with SSH. There are a few options. You can use JNLP, but we're using SSH. So use configured SSH resource. By default, it will be inject SSH key. So ensure you use configured SSH credentials. And then this one, I've just added the credentials that I showed you. Let me go back here. Clear. Also cd in slave. So these credentials are the ones that I added, because we want these containers to be accessible through the SSH. So with that, just come and add here Jenkins, give the username, give the password and a description, and then just select it. So I'm not going to add it again. Just cancel that. And then for those ones you can leave them as they are. But for host key verification strategy, ensure it will be non-host file verification strategy, but change it to non-verifying verification strategy. So ensure you have that non-verifying. I hope you're still together, guys. And then the last one, because we're not building the image every time, ensure on pull strategy you have never pull, because it will be pull images every time. So never pull. because this image, we have already built the image on the new virtual machine, so you don't have to build it or pull it every time. So just leave it as it is. So now after that, you just need to save and apply. And since I have not changed anything, I can just go back to dashboard here. I just leave because I didn't change anything, and I'll get one of my pipelines here. I can get the July one, believe, and show you how now the slave comes about. So for the pipeline, you just go to the pipeline. Basically, most times you find that the agent is here. The agent is any. That's how it basically is anytime you generate a script. But now what we'll need is the label and the slave. You remember the label I showed you on the other end, slave, because the Docker image was slave image and its name was slave image, but now the agent label was slave. Hope you remember that. So I've also not changed anything here, so I'll just go back to live there and just build, so that we are able to see. So it's this one, 4 5. So when we click on it, go to console output, you should see it started by my user. So let's just wait and see. You can see now it's telling me the slave is offline, but then now it starts to run. So slave image, so you can see it's running on the slave image, and then it's just a script that does some sleep commands. So sleep for 22 seconds. This is the beginning, sleeping, and then that's the script for sleep. It's just a simple script, but the key area was to show you that now the requests are routed onto the slave, which is only created once you build the pipeline or you launch the pipeline. So that means the resources all the other times are free and can be used for other services. So guys, that is all on the slaves for Jenkins. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any comment, just drop them in the comment section and we'll pick them up for you. See you next week, guys. Bye bye.